Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. So New York has been great, and I have a bunch of stuff to do today and tomorrow, and then I go home tomorrow night, and I miss them babies so much. So last night, my girlfriend Erica was asking me, she's like, how do you come up with what you talk about on Coffee Talk? And I said, typically just whatever's going on in my heart, or sometimes I'm inspired by a letter that I read or an experience that I've had. And she was like, how do you not plan it out? And I said, I don't know. I just don't think it would feel as authentic if I'm, like, okay, what topic do I need to brainstorm about today? So we were talking about red flags, and she asked me, she's like, what are some red flags with girlfriends that you've ignored? And I thought, you know what, that's a very interesting topic. A lot of times we talk about love and relationships with men or the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on what floats your boat. But a lot of times the trouble we're having is with girlfriends, right? So what are some red flags that I have ignored? One big one that comes to mind. I remember I had this girlfriend, and I noticed a shift in her behavior. And the thing is, I saw it. I noticed it. My intuition recognized it. And you know what I did? I ignored it. I pushed it aside. I don't know why. I guess I didn't maybe want to believe that my intuition was right. I valued her friendship and thought maybe it's an off day. I don't know. This was only literally March. Who else has to go through the months to try to remember the ones before? Maybe February. Okay, so it wasn't long ago. I was in Coffee Talk. Like I'm enlightened, but like clearly I'm still making mistakes. So anyway, she asked me to go for a walk. So we're walking, and she starts telling me that a mutual girlfriend, like, doesn't like me. And the way she did it was like, she was like, yeah, I know that you had lunch with so-and-so, but, Jamie, there are people who are really sort of off-put by your personality. I mean, you have a really strong personality, and all of a sudden, all of the attributes in me that she sought out, and when I tell you sought out, about chased me down and tackled me to get me into her life. So all of the personality traits and attributes that I had that she found so redeeming in the beginning that she needed, right? Typical sign of a user, that she needed. Suddenly, she was telling me stories using third parties to like subliminally suppress my grandiose, right? Like all of a sudden she didn't want me to be so big and bold and magical. My unicorn horn was starting to bother her. So instead of her dealing with her own shit and looking inside herself like, whoa, why am I suddenly feeling threatened by Jamie? Like, we're cool, so something must be going on with me. She used like subliminal stories to try to make me feel bad about who I am. She would say things, little things here and there, like, but so passive aggressively that like, and I ignored them. When a girlfriend is suddenly starting to try to make you feel bad about who you are, your authentic self. Now it's different if like you go out and get hammered and act a fool in public and she calls you the next day and is like, listen, you can't act like that in front of my mom, boss, boyfriend, husband, kids, whatever. Fine. I'm talking about when you are outgoing and funny and all of a sudden you become a threat to the girl you're friends with. All of a sudden she starts to check you for who you are. That is a red flag. That is a girl that is this far away from starting to talk about you behind your back, starting to plot against you, planning your demise. Trust me when I tell you, that is phase one. Do not ignore it. Do not ignore it. That is phase 1 of Operation Take You Down. Operation Shit on Your Neck. You need to know that, because I ignored it. I ignored it because like I said, I saw it. I saw the sign. I saw the signs. I did. I saw the red flags, and I chose to ignore it. And then it got worse, and I saw other red flags, and then she totally effed me, and I was left like this, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. But the more distance I had from the situation, the more I could see her planting the seeds to do me dirty. And had I just nipped it in the bud and took control of it as soon as I saw the first red flag, at least I could have held on to my dignity. But I ignored it. I don't know why. And it's really frustrating. I know that there are some of you who probably have relationships with girls that you feel you need. Relationships that right now you're afraid to end, but you know that it's probably, there are red flags you're ignoring. Don't. Do yourself a favor, or at least start the conversation. I should have said to her, just out of curiosity, why every time we speak do you find a way to tell me somebody in our community that doesn't think I'm good enough or thinks I'm too much? Like, why all of a sudden do you feel like you need to be my moral compass when you are actually the most morally casual human being I've ever met? No judgment. I'm just curious where this is all coming from. And I didn't do it. I didn't check her. Oh my gosh, I made a lot of mistakes. All right. I love you guys so much today. Have a great day.